Howdy, gang. You know, there's nothing quite like a deep-sea dive. The beauty of nature, the coral, the fish, and of course, sunken treasure. Come on, you stupid... What was that? Okay, you didn't tell me about the sharks, guys. Get me out of here!
Howdy there, gang. Welcome to the semifinals of Junkyard Wars. Well, today we got a couple of greasy, junkyard doggy kind of teams with us who both successfully battled through the first round. Now, this is an important competition because only one of these teams is going on to the Junkyard Wars finals and a chance to win this amazingly heavy trophy.
Today's challenge is a treasure hunt. Our teams must liberate a stash of gold locked up in a treasure chest, which unfortunately has sunk to the bottom of the sea. So our junkaholics need to knock up some kind of diving helmet and find a way of supplying air to their diver to keep him alive while he rescues the treasure. So let's meet our deep-sea daredevils.
Back for their second challenge are the amazing Art Attacks, a team of kinetic sculptors from the West Coast.
Art Attack!
These engineering wizards build weird and wonderful machines to wow the art world.
Let's get ready to rumble!
In their first round, the Art Attacks conjured up a fantastically good-looking boat called Hot Hazel. She sailed them straight through to the semi-final. This time, top diver Greg Bryant joins the Art Attacks. Greg's a marine engineer who works for Disney. Whatever they build, June, her partner Ken, and Captain Flatmo will make sure it looks $1 million.
In the blue corner, Californian hotshots, the Young Guns, are hoping to repeat their first victory. These brainy egghead types may look fresh out of college, but they're sharp as a box of nails.
In their first challenge, the Young Guns catapulted themselves into the semi-final.
3, 2, 1, fire!
Woo! With a pumpkin chunking trebuchet.
We hit the wall. We hit the wall. Yeah!
Joining the Young Guns is not so young Bob Kirby. Bob's been building diving helmets for years, so he knows a thing or two about staying alive underwater. With Bob on their side, Captain Stan, Brian and Jesus could dive into the lead.
Go! All right, teams, Art Attacks!
Yeah!
Young Guns!
What's that?
Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see you again. Y'all look very proud of yourselves. Congratulations for making it this far. We like it. We thought we'd make it easy this time. All you got to do, simple. Unscrew these screws, take off the chains, unlock this lock, and get the treasure out of this lockbox.
I think you should tell them the other bit.
Oh, all right. It's going to be under 20 feet of water, anchored, which means your challenge today is to build us a deep-sea diving machine.
There's only one other important rule, which is that you'll get just 10 hours to build your contraptions, and the time starts from when the ball hits the bottom of the junkyard time machine. Wait for it. Go!
Go!
The first job for our teams is to come up with a plan.
You did tell them about the sharks, didn't you?
I knew there was something I forgot to tell him.
This is a dangerous challenge. Our divers must sink through shark-infested waters to reach the treasure. And it won't be easy to find the keys and unlock the chest. Moving around will be much more difficult under 20 feet of water. For safety's sake, whoever goes into that tank must be a trained diver, so we've nominated our team experts to take the plunge. They'll need to be kitted out with some kind of helmet linked to the surface with a hose. Then our teams must find a way to pump air down the hose to keep their diver alive long enough to get the treasure.
Essentially what we need to do is put a bubble over a diver's head and supply it with fresh air.
What about like a water jug, one of those, like one of those?
Would this be perfect or what?
I
If
think
we
that'll
cut the
work.
bottom off and make sure that it fits on the shoulders correctly,
You sure you're going to be smiling under there, though?
I'll be smiling. With you on the surface, I'll be smiling.
See, the young guns have spotted that one too, but Bob has doubts about a plastic water bottle.
Okay, can't look out of a curved glass because it distorts on the bottom, and whoever goes down there, which is going to be me, has got to be able to get that key out of that box and get the treasure. So I have to see what I'm doing.
How on earth are we going to do this?
We're not going to use a mask. We're going to use a full helmet with proper weights on and a flat glass in the front.
How exactly are we going to get the air to this?
We're going to have to use a piston compressor of some sort.
Bob's suggesting a piston and cylinder to pump air into his helmet. Air will be drawn in through a one-way valve in the bottom of the cylinder, then forced out through another valve into the hose, a bit like a bicycle pump. It should work a treat, just as long as the pistons make an airtight seal in the cylinders.
There isn't a possibility of pumping too much air to you, is
No,
there?
there's not that possibility.
Next door, Greg's come up with his own unique design to fill his helmet with air.
I think if we got a small tire, what we need to do is just be able to pull it open, squish it down. I'm thinking if we do 2 of them, that we have something along the lines of a teeter-totter.
The Art Attacks plan to turn 2 tyres into a set of bellows. As the tyres are stretched open, air will be sucked in. As they're compressed, the air will be forced out into the hose. The size of the tyres is crucial. Too small and Greg won't get enough air. Too big and the Art Attacks won't be strong enough to squash them.
Now, do you foresee how long that this might take you to unlock this box at the bottom?
If you guys are supplying air, I can stay down for a long time at 20 feet.
You almost sound like you know what you're doing.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
Woo! Both teams have just 10 hours to ransack our stack of junk and find the stuff they need to build their machines.
The Art Attacks have unleashed Ken and June to find a pair of perfectly sized tires for their bellows. And to find just the right parts for their pump, Brian and Jesus are crawling through pipes faster than a couple of sewer rats.
Hey, I think I see a piece of tubing from up top here.
Will the aquabatic Art Attacks dive into the lead, or will those salty sea pups, the young guns, bob to the top? Join us after the break.
Well, there you are. Hurry up, sit down. Come on, we're back already. All right, we've got 2 teams of greasy gladiators who are building their machines, and only one of those teams is going to go on to the Junkyard Wars final.
The young guns have washed up against the Art Attacks in the ultimate underwater challenge. Both teams are building a diving machine to search for sunken treasure on the sea floor.
So I think this will work as a helmet. Let's try it out.
In navy blue are the young guns from California. Whiz kids
Brian,
Jesus and Brian are hunting for some heavy-duty headgear.
Get that. This? You never know, it might be useful. How's that for a helmet?
And he's going to stick his head in that. Oy.
In turquoise are the Art Attacks, a gang of sculptors from the West Coast. Junkyard dogs Ken and June are sniffing out the right size tires for their Bellows Pump.
I shall claim it mine.
Their expert Greg is very fussy about size.
Smaller!
Okay, so a little olive oil would be nice.
So, chaps,
Uh-huh.
what's the plan?
Well, we're going to build ourselves an air compressor.
What sort of thing are you going to have on your head?
Great big water tank on my head with some sort of a flat window in the front. If you have a curved lens underwater, you become very disoriented, very distorted, and you can't get any work done down there at all.
This is basically the scheme for the bit that's going to actually put the air in the helmet.
Right, there are 2 pistons right here, and there's a pivot point for this big arm, another big arm again.
So this is a piston and this is a piston.
Right.
Kind of doing this sort of thing. The young guns hope to keep Bob alive with a simple piston pump. Making it work will depend on creating a completely airtight seal between the piston and the cylinder. Otherwise, the air will escape around the edges. So the plan is to sandwich some kind of spongy material inside the piston, which will expand to fill any gaps.
The pistons themselves are actually just going to be pretty thick leather with some washers on either side.
Oh, leather. Well, that's what will give you a good seal.
That's right.
Wow, look at that.
Now it's up to Jesus and Brian to find a good cylinder for the pump. Out in the yard, Ken and June are rolling in a whole mess of tires.
That's never going to work. It's never going to work. I don't like that. What? I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Now look, these wheels are a little bit smaller on this guy, but they don't have a good bead on it.
If we have to use those, we will use those.
Okay.
If you can find something smaller.
Okay, we're gonna keep looking.
How about this one? Will this work?
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay,
That
cool.
is perfect.
We will find the other wheel.
Yeah, if you can
Okay.
find another one like
Okay.
this, we'll be able to
That's
make this work enough volume.
Okay.
Gentlemen, you're gonna go for a full suit, a half suit, a
We don't want a full suit. What we thought would make a good basic helmet, watch your feet there. This is already waterproof. It has pretty good vision all the way around on it.
And to get the air to the helmet, you're gonna do it by the wheels.
We're going to try to make a bellows pump by using 2 small tires. We're not going to use it like a normal tire like this. We're actually going to squeeze them sideways like that. So it gets big, pulls air in. We make it small, it pushes air out.
Go like that.
Right.
It's like that. You know,
There you
it's just
go,
the same
and then
thing,
push it out.
That's what
Yeah.
it is?
The Art Attack scheme is to sandwich each tyre between 2 metal plates to make a set of bellows. Air will be drawn in through a one-way valve in the bottom plate. When the tyre is squashed, the air will be forced out through another valve into the hose and down to their diver.
Found the other pump tire. The other pump tire.
Woohoo! Cool! And there I just looked down and there was our lucky horseshoe.
With 2 tyres, the Art Attacks have found the basic ingredients for their pump. They're one step closer to a place in the finals than the young guns, who are still struggling to find a perfect pipe.
We're going to be still looking for a better cylinder that's smooth inside. If has an irregular surface like a weld or anything else, we're going to have a leak. Any leak at all is really deadly. And a severe leak, it just means the machine won't work at all.
Hey guys, found this one. It's pretty smooth inside. Sitting on top of some car.
Yeah, that looks good. Now this little bead here, I think we can work around that okay, because I think the leather will form around it. We'll grease
That's
the leather.
true.
So we'll make that work.
There's a pleasant amount of cockiness building up
There
here.
is some
You
definite
know why?
cockiness.
Because it's a semi-final.
I know.
Everybody's got a little pride.
They're feeling
going,
like,
man.
we got here, we're deserving, we're a bit smart.
You know what? We'll knock them down a peg in a few hours. We'll change their tune.
For centuries, daredevil divers have explored the ocean with all kinds of homemade helmets and pumps. Early diving systems were open to the water, so there was a limit to how divers could move and how deep they could go. These days, state-of-the-art diving suits look more like spacesuits. The gym suit solved the problem of movement by enclosing the diver in an airtight system.
Then along came the amazing Newt suit. It can withstand huge pressures underwater and can take divers deeper than ever before. Now divers can safely explore the last frontier on Earth, the deep ocean floor. We've invited Phil Newton, the inventor of the Newt suit, to judge whether our teams will sink or swim. Thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. I wouldn't miss for the world. Look at this. I mean, this is incredible, isn't it? I never thought that I would get real excited about seeing diving gear built, because, of course, that's what I do. But these guys are really going at it in a very different way.
Well, the first thing I would do, logically, is I'd cut me the end off a garden hose with a pair of scissors, stick it in my pie hole, and go down there, and away I go. Why won't that work?
It will work, but for a very short distance. So if you go much over about a foot, you can hardly drag the air down. The reason for that is that you have to pull the gas down to a greater pressure, and you can't expand your lungs against the outside pressure.
It's the weight of all that water above the diver that creates pressure. 20 feet down, the pressure is about 10 pounds per square inch more than at the surface. So the air must be supplied from the pumps at a pressure of 10 psi or greater. Less than that, and our divers are in danger of drowning.
So they've got to force gas down. They've got to force air down to that pressure with these pumps. And that's why it's not the helmet that's critical, it's the pump.
Okay, this is almost twice as big as we were looking for.
Their 10 hours are ticking by, and so far the young guns have only found one cylinder for their piston pump. Bob makes an executive decision.
Since one here will do the job instead of 2, we can just erase this much of our machine.
Instead of 2 long, thin cylinders, the young guns now have 1 short, fat one. But they've done the math, and they still get the same volume of air. Stan and Bob whip up a frame for the pump and a lever that will work the piston up and down.
What?
It's our hose.
What hose?
That hose.
Flip you for it.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
The Art Attack's bellows are taking shape. Flatmo's cutting out 2 metal plates that will seal the air inside each tyre. The team are hoping it won't be too difficult to compress the tyres once they're sealed in their metal sandwich. The thing I'm interested in with this elaborate sandwich, because anyone knows who's ever kind of tried pushing a tyre, it takes an awful lot of pressure to squash it down.
It does. Do you have a moment? Can I help you?
Please help me. Maths whiz Greg works out exactly how much force it'll take to squeeze those tyres. A few sums later, he's got the answer. So 590 pounds is the amount of force it's going to take you to squash that tyre.
It's quite a lot of force. Way more. I don't weigh that much. There's no way I can generate it. I suppose I could pull, but I don't think I'm not quite spry enough to do that.
Right.
So how do we do that? What we're going to do is we're going to take a lever.
It's the old seesaw principle.
It is exactly a seesaw.
Imagine a child and an elephant sitting on a seesaw. It's very hard for the child to lift the beast. But if the pivot is moved closer to the elephant, it becomes easier. The child is now sitting on a long lever, which effectively reduces the elephant's weight. The Art Attacks are using the same principle of leverage to compress their tyres.
So that means I have a 9-to-1 ratio on this.
Yeah.
So I can reduce this
You can
this
divide
force
that
by,
by 9.
Exactly.
So then you're looking at kind of 65 pounds or something, which is more human.
65.
You see?
You worked that out. You're much faster than most people are with maths.
Well, all this mathematical stuff is really mind-boggling. I mean, can't we just buddy breathe? Boy, girl, boy, girl.
Both the Young Guns and Art Attacks kind of have a little seesaw element.
Absolutely, yeah.
In Young Guns style is basically a long post between that center doohickemer there. I don't mean to get technical.
Doohickemer's good.
And they'll, by hand, pump that lever side to side, and that will drive the piston. Did you get a sense that how Art Attacks is doing with their build?
I actually had a lesson in maths from their expert Greg, because the whole thing about their pump is they've got such a big area that they're going to be squashing flat, which of course is great for giving lots of air, but not so great for actually squashing it at all.
Right.
So I wanted to just double check that they'd worked out the exact details of how much force it's going to take and how are they going to provide that amount of force. And I came away completely reassured, I have to say, absolutely.
Is it because you're good with math and he reassured you through math, or because you're dumber than a post like I am and he just suckered you into it?
I'd like to bond with you, but actually he reassured me by his calculator.
We need some more parts for the helmet. We need the straps that go across the top, but it's no problem if we use seat belts, okay?
The Art Attacks are still missing some stuff for their helmet.
Whoa.
Armed with a Leatherman, June blitzes the yard. No car is safe.
Straps.
Holy moly! Strap City.
We have straps.
We got to find something else to do with these.
Really, they look like great hairs.
Yeah, I know, they're wonderful.
Next door, the Young Guns are on the scrounge for a flat window for their helmet.
The port for the diving helmet, 1/4 inch plexiglass of some sort, or an assembly of some sort, or whatever you can find.
Probably use this. Just need a screwdriver, take it apart. Yep. We got it sealed.
Hey Bob, I think I found a piece of Plex for you.
All right. That's great.
So hopefully this will work.
That'll work.
As they break for lunch, Flatmo grills Greg about team tactics.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
What's your sign? No. No. I wanted to ask you are you a person that, like, you're going to outbeat Bob, you're going to zoom down, boom, or you're more nimble, I would think, you're going to be a little more aggressive.
Bob and I are very good friends, but very much into personal rivalry on our individual abilities.
Greg is a real good mechanic. Greg is good at everything he does. Saving money is one of them.
While acknowledging his mechanical genius and his craftsmanship, there are times when he doesn't know his ass from hot rock, and I think he would say that I am far too theoretical for my own good at times.
You're probably going to give him a run for his money. I mean, he's not going to beat
Make
you.
no mistake.
You're faster than
make
him,
no
right?
mistake. I want to win.
Okay.
Yeah, make no mistake about that.
The Art Attacks have got a head start on their helmet. It's almost ready-made.
Man, Diver Dan, eat your heart out, man.
All right, teams, you got 1 hour. I'm just kidding, you got 5.
Jeez.
I'm going to start burning out the water tank now and get that ready.
Bob's sitting for a fitting too. Time to turn up the gas on that old water heater and cut it to pieces. Next, throw on the end of a rusty milk churn to make a window. Bob's hoping that a flat window in the helmet will give him a better view of the treasure. So that's the easy part over. Next door, Flatmo's got his hands on the difficult part, the pump.
There it is. Hey, let's take full credit while Greg's gone. God, we're genius.
So,
There's a real gamble involved with these guys over on this side, that if it works, we'll pump air till the cows come home. These guys have a much smaller piston, so it's not as much gas, and you've got to have sufficient ventilation in the helmet. If you don't, the CO2 will build up in the helmet and finally could cause one or the other of the divers to black out.
You've got to go in the water. Which one are you getting?
If I had to make a decision, I would go with the Young Guns helmet and the Art Attacks pump, providing that the Art Attacks pump works.
Aha! So you'd take Art Attacks if you had a chance.
I'd take their pump machine if it works.
That's it.
May not work.
No, that's it.
So what can you do?
Can't change it.
That's a big question right now, and the answer's not looking good.
Once we sealed it to that, then how do we seal it to the floor?
Oh, we're going to weld it down. That was the plan.
Greg and Ken can't seem to seal the tire to the bottom plate of their bellows. Now, without that seal, the Art Attacks helmet will fill up with water instead of air.
We've got a big problem on our hands right now.
With a place in the finals at stake, can Greg pull the Art Attacks back from the brink and beat his old diving buddy Bob?
why be all uptight when you win it?
Join us after the break to find out.
Welcome back to the Junkyard Wars semi-final, where two teams of diving daredevils are fathoming out how to salvage our sunken treasure. With over half the day gone, the young guns are racing into the lead.
Clean ship is a happy ship.
Stan's knocked together a plastic piston for their pump.
It's looking real good. Now, if we can get our leather, then we're getting on towards finishing up our piston.
The Art Attacks are struggling with a serious problem that could sink their whole diving machine.
Okay, if there's something with a smaller one,
They can't get an airtight seal around their tires, so they can't get any pressure in their pump.
The plan was to weld the hub of the tyre directly onto the plate to hold it in place. But the tyre is so curved that the hub won't reach the plate. Greg needs a thin ring of metal to fill the gap, otherwise he'll be breathing water instead of air.
Ken takes a lucky dive in the junkyard and finds a piece of pipe that's the right diameter. Greg modifies the tire hubs. Now, if this doesn't work, the Art Attacks machine will be dead in the water.
Next door, Brian's struggling to find real leather. There's only the fake stuff.
It's about as close as I can find. I think it's vinyl though.
As close as you can find the leather?
Yeah.
Oh, they won't soak up.
Won't soak
It's
up.
aldehyde, it won't soak up. Won't do the same thing.
The young guns are getting worried.
We're gonna have to find some leather or tear these gloves up.
There are only a few hours to go, and without the leather, they can't complete their pump.
Over the wall, the Art Attacks might be onto a solution.
Ken, check this out. Okay, there's those pieces you got squared off. You drop this on like this. Now feel how it is.
That's a seal.
Hey, George. Oh, yeah. Flatmo, you're smiling. That's a good sign.
It's
Greg, okay. I see teeth. That's good.
Yeah, things are going good.
Are they?
Well, they weren't, but they are now.
Are you getting maximum squishability from this now?
Squishability.
Well, I don't mean to get technical, but yes, it's called squishability.
Even if we're a little short, then these guys said that they'd pump faster for me.
Yeah,
Aw.
yeah.
Doesn't that warm your heart?
He's not gonna, he knows how to, do the little Zen thing and come real down, small breaths.
You know how you feel about the tax man? I wouldn't trust Flatmo farther than you could chuck him.
Man, I'm there when he needs me.
You don't even have anything hooked up, and I can already feel the air.
Me
pumping.
too, yeah.
That's
cool.
nice.
After 5 circuits of the junkyard, Brian's finally dredged up some real leather.
Oh, wow.
So what is it that's so good about leather?
Leather has a quality of being able to form it, lasts a long time, and it retains lubrication. Now watch the magic of the leather. And we're going to take the leather, we're going to start folding it and kneading it. You can feel right now how soft it's.
Oh yeah, it goes really pliable.
It'll go 3 times that, see, by working it.
So what that means is that you get a really good suction
Right.
on the up and the downstroke.
The pressure expands it and it makes it hold to the sides of the wall.
Right. If only you can get that leather malleable enough.
That's right.
It's all going to work.
That's right. That's right.
So you think it's a problem if we cut a slit in the leather?
Well, you can't do that. No, you lose all your pressure. Yeah. It's
Oh yeah. I like that.
The leather is a lifesaver.
Not all divers use pumps or scuba tanks. Free divers see how far they can plunge into the watery depths on a single breath. Fred Boyle recently broke the world record for freshwater diving by plummeting to an amazing 213 feet.
What's it like to go that far down into the water?
It's getting totally black and very, very cold. But when we free dive, we are really focused on what we are doing, so we don't feel cold and we are not affected by darkness.
Caroline Meyer Del Toe from Brazil is another free diving record breaker.
You need to train a lot to understand your body, to be relaxed in these difficult conditions. With training, you will understand what is the maximum depth that you can reach.
Caroline's specialty is static apnea, which means floating around in swimming pools, seeing who can hold their breath the longest. She recently set a new women's world record at an incredible 6 minutes and 2 seconds.
The principle is to stay as long as you can in the water without moving.
So you just hold still because then you don't use as much oxygen?
You have to be still, not to burn oxygen.
I don't want to embarrass you guys, but maybe we could have a little competition. We could just hold our breath and see who can go the longest. Ready? And big breath, and...
Back to the teams! Back to the teams! Go back!
All right. We should go look for these check valves.
The young guns are still missing some crucial pipe work, but Brian's more interested in pumping iron than pumping air.
Really don't know what a check valve is, but I think this might be it.
A check valve simply is something that allows fluid or gas to go in one direction but not return.
But not the other.
Soda straw that's soggy at the end, you can blow through it, but you can't suck, okay? So blow, it goes, suck in, you turn blue. Exactly.
So then if I
why
turn
do they
it
need
around-
this in the pump? Yeah, you can't do anything. You got it. So you show the whole thing
But then
right
I can
there.
suck on it.
Yep.
The young guns need 2 check valves for their cylinder. Bob's drilled a couple of holes in the bottom of the pump to let the air in and out. All they've got to do now is make sure the check valves are the right way round.
Okay, now, when we get through, one will be the in and one will be the out, but this makes them the same height.
Being a creative bunch, the Art Attacks are making their own cheap check valves out of a few quarters.
This is our little flapper valve that goes right over the top of this. We do it eagle side down because it's the flattest side of a quarter. So, and then it just flaps over the hole. So when the air comes in, it goes like that, and then the weight of the quarter keeps it down, so it sucks down when the air pressure pushes against it.
You the man, so...
How's that?
That's only perfect. You know what almost might be better is if we just put like a long T-bar on here, and then we just both went like that, because then we both have the same amount of leverage. We found our T-bar stand.
All right.
This is gonna be basically an imaginary Brian on that side, and we pumping this thing up and down and giving life-saving oxygen to Bob.
It's near the end of the day, and Flatmo and Ken have got that Friday afternoon feeling.
You guys are having way too much fun over there.
2 hours?
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding, Bob. Work faster.
The young guns have finished off their helmet. Time to see if they've made the hole in the right place.
That's pretty damn good.
It fits.
That's
It really
good.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that rubber on there, no problem.
Hey, you want to? Yeah, Ken, look at this. Check it out.
You're going to be one underwater classy guy.
A diving helmet is basically a big bubble of air, and it will float off the diver's head unless it's weighted down. But if the teams add too much weight, their diver won't be able to move. So they need to get the weight just right.
Quick lesson here. If you take a cubic foot of air and try to push it underwater, it's going to take 62 pounds of weight to sink it. So these helmets have probably more than a cubic foot of air in them, but the metal one already weighs a fair bit, so you don't have to add too much weight to it to sink it. Whereas the other one doesn't weigh anything, so it's going to take a lot of weight.
So they'd hang the weights on the seatbelts?
Absolutely. If they put them on themselves, of course, then they're stuck with these weights, and if something goes wrong, their air supply quits, their tires blow up, the guy has a heart attack on the pump, then the guy on the bottom can only get up by getting out of that helmet.
The Art Attacks need a lot of weight to sink their helmet.
Man, this sucker is heavy.
All right, June. I've always wanted to see you in chains, man.
That is heady.
Ever ready with the calculator, Greg's worked out the exact weight he needs in links of chain.
Put 46 links in the front
Okay, I'm write it down.
and the remainder in the back.
Hey, Greg, if you keep doing that, you're going to go blind.
The boys in blue are about to grease their piston and fit it into the cylinder. Jesus grabs the olive oil. It'll soften the leather by helping to mold it around the piston head as they push it up and
Kind
down.
of nice and slow. Get that oil all on the walls. Okay.
Oh, pardon me.
I guess you've heard that hideous
Oh,
noise.
man. It sounds like a gorilla snoring, doesn't it?
It's disgusting.
You know what? It sounds like my dad snoring, actually.
No, that's horrid.
Actually, my dad sounds worse.
No.
Sorry, Dad. Yeah, well. Oh, it scares small children.
Flatmo's stopped working to concentrate on winding up the other team.
Check it out.
Flatmo, please report to the principal's office.
Oh.
Flatmo, please report to the principal's office.
I'm in trouble again.
As night falls, time is nearly up. The race for a place in the finals is nail-bitingly close.
All right, kiddies, it better start to look like a diving machine. You got 1 hour left to tinker.
Woo!
Yo.
Both machines look promising, but no one's made any bubbles yet.
Pretty good stuff, huh?
Finally, the Art Attacks bolt the lever on and get ready to squeeze those tires. Hey! I would love to see bubbles so much.
Bubbles, you shall have.
Can I have a go?
Here we go. Ready? How about, watch.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's bubbles.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
convinced.
Definitely.
That's not even hard work.
I know.
Did you want to go check it out?
Look at this
Greg,
smile.
Here, I'll
We
move
had
it,
a
you go
couple of
get it.
challenges
Go and
today.
admire your bubbles.
All right. We've got some air. That's nice. You like it?
Greg. Greg, you the man.
All right.
All right.
Next door, the young guns are about to find out if their snoring gorilla also blows bubbles.
Come on, let's do it. It'll be exciting, won't it, Bob? This will be the big payoff. Woo-hoo! I believe that's success, gentlemen. All right.
Flatmo's counting on a fiery chicken to scare off the sharks. Fat chance. Both pumps are generating enough air to keep their divers alive, so that place in the finals could all rest on who's got the best view out of their helmet.
So the final question then is, how confident are you about kicking a little booty?
Kicking a booty?
It means you're going to win, Bob.
I thought you meant payback. You saw that thing pump, didn't you? No, come on. Yeah. Did that pump?
That pump, Bob. That pumped. It happened.
Actually, Greg is a real good friend of mine, but he's just not very bright.
Now we know that they're both going to operate once they hit the bottom. How much of diver skill is going to come into this?
That's where it's going to come in.
You think
given
so?
that both systems are the same, and given the handicap of the curved glass, the last and final determining factor is going to be their actual hand-eye coordination skills, their experience as divers, and I have to give the edge to young guns.
Hey, Brian, we're going to be easy riding.
With just a few minutes left, the young gun's snoring gorilla has turned into a Harley.
All right.
While the Art Attack's chicken pump has broken out into brightly colored plumage.
At the sound of the tone, your time will be up.
All right, that's it, you gold-digging grease monkeys. Put the tools down.
That includes you, Flatmo.
All right, get a good night's sleep tonight because tomorrow we're racing for sunken treasure!
I did it.
The Art Attacks plan to make a splash with a couple of old tyres and a water jug helmet, while the young guns will dive into the deep with a rusty water heater and a leaky cylinder smeared in olive oil. Will our divers take the treasure before the sharks have them for breakfast? Join us after the break for the Junkyard Wars underwater treasure hunt.
Hey there, buckaroos. Welcome back to Junkyard Wars. Well, yesterday we had our two teams furiously building their diving machines, and now today is the big underwater race to see who's going to get the buried treasure and who's going to sink like a big old Horkin stone. Oh, did I mention the water's full of sharks?
In the Junkyard Wars aquarium, the sharks are on the prowl for a quick snack. Our teams of mechanical magicians have conjured up some questionable diving rigs from a pile of junk. Two kamikaze divers with a death wish will use them to rescue sunken treasure 20 feet below. Locked inside each of these chests is a secret stash of jewels. The first diver to break into the chest, fill their bag with treasure, and float it to the surface will be the winner.
But first, there's the usual 1 hour for last-minute tinkering.
This is the Greg-O-Matic amazing underwater breathing apparatus.
With Captain Flatmo at the helm, the Art Attacks have built an experimental bellows pump out of a pair of old tyres. It looks more like playground equipment than a pump and could all fall apart under the pressure, leaving poor old Greg gasping for air.
Battling against them are the boys in blue, the young guns.
Ready to ride?
They're sending Bob to the bottom of the tank with a piston cylinder pump.
Really hope you like the taste of oil, because you're going to be tasting.
Bob's pretty confident that they're going to get enough air out of their pump. That, of course, is if it doesn't leak too much.
I found the leak. It's just one little hole.
So, young guns, ready to take the plunge?
Well, I can't believe that things have worked out as well as they have.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
And everything's working?
I am concerned, serious concern, and that is that Greg is going to lose so badly.
He's one of the most cockily confident contestants I think we've ever had. Good luck in there, Bob.
Thank you.
Can I check out the opposition?
We want to christen this event by making you the captain of the team and creating this beautiful machine, the Greg-O-Matic 500. Yeah.
Here's your staff.
You need your staff. You are a true diver. Good job.
Greg, you look utterly radiant, might I say. Oh, this isn't staying.
Yeah, you would tell.
Oh, how disappointing. How do you feel in there?
It's good. This is going to be a great helmet. It's going to be a great helmet.
Go, Ken, hold this.
Who do you reckon looks more attractive out of you and Bob to a shark?
It's hard to say. He might be easier, but I might be more tender.
Art Attacks, young guns. It's time to get wet. Divers, grab your gear. Teams to the air pumps. And I want a clean and fair fight. And divers, if you get attacked by a shark, keep working. All right, go get him. Come on.
The rules are very simple. Once the divers are in position, they'll be given the go signal. Then the first diver to break into their treasure chest, fill their bag with gold, and float that bag to the surface will be the winner. Sounds easy enough, but there are 5 obstacles to get through. First, the divers must find a key hidden amongst the seaweed and use it to open a padlock. Then, undo a combination lock, unscrew the bolts, and take the chain off. Once they've opened the chest, they have to empty the treasure into a bag and float it to the surface.
Safety is a priority, so first in the water is Phil the judge. If anything goes wrong, he'll be there to help.
Ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
Before the race begins, the teams have to make sure their diving machines work. The young gun's helmet is drenched in bubbles. That means there's plenty of air.
Can we get it to rotate?
The safety divers steady the helmet while Bob puts it on. Now this is the real test, to find out if the pump can fill the helmet with air under 20 feet of water and 10 pounds of pressure. Good news! Bob's at the bottom and he's still got air.
Next, the Art Attacks take the plunge. Both divers have to stay upright in their helmets, so moving about is tricky.
This is so easy. I can't believe it. I'll start breaking a sweat here in a couple of minutes.
This is a lot less stressful pumping over here, isn't it?
They're gonna
young
tire
guns-
out.
Look, June's practically doing
Keep
it
it
with one
nice and
finger.
smooth, you guys. Keep it going, you guys. Excellent, excellent.
The divers do a quick buoyancy test. Bob's just sinking gently. That's about right.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
George braves the sharks to go down and start the race.
Oh boy. Oh boy, I hope he's okay.
Greg's weight might be fine, but he's getting blinded by bubbles.
It looks like he needs to push the hose up in higher. It's down a little bit low and it's making bubbles go up into his face, it looks like. That's what it looked like.
Bob's helmet's fogged up too. Both teams could have problems seeing what they're doing, but at least they can breathe. George is on his way. He'll referee the race with a shark's eye view from the side and keep a lookout for stingrays. The divers are completely dependent on their pumps. If it takes too long to get the treasure, their teammates might run out of puff. It could all hinge on the question of stamina.
The teams are in position. The young guns are on the left with the metal helmet, and the Art Attack's water jug is on the right. Now Phil the judge is standing by, and next to him, that's little old me in the yellow.
Okay, teams, keep pumping. We're going to start the race.
Okay! All right, I think the divers are ready. And go! Both divers scrambling for the key. The key is, who can get the key?
Go, Bob!
Look at that! Bob from Young Guns has already found his key. Moving back. Things are working great for him.
What?
And look at that, over there, Greg at Art Attacks has got his key too.
Come on, June! Are they both on the thing? Here, June.
Young Guns has already got the padlock off.
Come on, get the key, gun.
Greg having a little trouble with his helmet. The helmet is a little light for him.
How much is it hurting?
It's all right. We're just cheering for Bob here. It looks like he's having some trouble over there.
Bob's beginning to have a little trouble with Young Guns' combination lock. Look at that! Look at that! Now Art Attacks has got off their padlock.
Come on, Greg.
Now Greg is already working on the nuts. He is a machine. Don't mind the sharks. No pressure. Ah!
Don't slow down.
Come on, Greg. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on. You guys, keep it going. It's alive! It's alive! Yeah! Let's go, let's go. You get over here.
Bob is still struggling. I think he's going to give up on the Young Guns combination.
Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob.
How's he doing? See, he looks...
He's taking the nuts off, but he got slowed down taking the
yeah, was it the combination?
Combination lock slowed him down. I don't know what happened.
It looks like the race is evening up nicely now. Greg is working on the second knot right now. He's getting close.
He's almost there. He's almost there. Yeah.
All right, it looks like it's a neck-and-neck race between the two. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Art Attacks has already got the top of their box off. All he's got to do is open it up. Houston, we have a problem. Art Attack's box is going to stay shut for a while. Come on, Greg, pull on it. Young Guns struggling with their box, too.
Open the box. Come on, Greg.
I can't bear to watch.
Come on, Greg.
Oh, look at that! Young Guns is now in the lead.
Let's go, Bob.
Come on, Greg.
Art Attacks is still struggling. Oh, he's got it open too. The jewels are everywhere, everywhere. All right, now we just have to see which team can get the booty in the bag first.
Come on, Bob. Come on, Greg. Come on, Greg. Load it up. Load it up. That's good.
Bob's gonna dump all the jewels in the bag. Oh, it's still close. Greg is going piece by piece.
There's a lot of jewels in there.
Yes.
He's coming back with a lot of booty.
Come on, Greg. Come on. See, this guy's pouring it in.
Oh, that's a bit against the rules.
No, no!
Oh my word.
Young Guns jewels have hit the ocean floor. That's not gonna be good. All right, you can see now struggling. Bob's starting to take on a little water in his helmet, but he doesn't care because Young Gun wants to win. No shark can scare him. Who is going to win this? It's so close.
Let's go for some of those nasty tricks, Bob.
Greg is now trying to fill Art Attack's bag with air. They might have this one in place.
Come on, Greg.
Anything can happen. Don't hit the shark. Don't hit the shark. And we have a winner!
Yes, yes.
All right. Keep pumping. You gotta stay down there.
Greg has done it for Art Attacks. Congratulations, Art Attacks, the winners! And Bob, an excellent job for Young Guns, too.
Yeah.
You guys take a break, and when we come back, we're having a big celebration.
Welcome back to Junkyard Wars, where we've just produced our first finalists, and they are the Art Attacks. Let's find out how it happened. Hey! Woo! Underwater champion Greg has brought back the jewels for his teammate June, while unlucky losers, the Young Guns, commiserate with their expert Bob.
Look what we brought! Captain Flat Mo!
You had a bit of trouble with the very first...
I never got the lock open.
Didn't you?
It wouldn't come open. I finally said, all right, and I just ripped it apart.
How was the pump?
It was beautiful.
Oh,
You
man,
did
you
a
guys gave me
beautiful
great
job.
air. You know, it just was smooth. There was plenty of it. It was nice.
Well,
And then we saw you at the end trying to tip the whole treasure chest into your bag.
Well, oh, yeah. Well, yeah. But by that time, of course, they were all on the ground. Then I tried scooping them in the ground, and the beads were floating away.
Stuff that in there. There you go. Yes, yes.
Well, the little Junkyard Doggies, looks like Captain Flatmo and the Art Attacks gang are going on to the finals. But come on back because we got two more teams that are going to compete in another semifinal of Junkyard Wars. We'll see you then.
Next time, Pennsylvanian farmers' boys, the Long Brothers, go head-to-head with the Texas Scrap Daddies in the Junkyard Theatre of War. Their challenge is to build a hovercraft and race on land and sea for a place in the grand final.